welcome to Riddle's channel. Today's doll that will receive a quick glow up is the Pearl Beach Barbie from 1997. As you can see, she's in really good condition overall. She has her earrings, which are intact and still attached. And her hair is not too tangled either. All she needs is a thorough brush through and a good cleanup. The only thing that needs extra attention are her bangs, which decided to take a stance and defy gravity. So as always, I will start with brushing the hair using a white pet brush, which is my favorite. And since her hair is in a pretty good condition, she really doesn't need much today. I believe her hair is Kanekalon, which comes in these two shades of blonde, which really give a good summery beach vibe to the doll. I just need to make sure that I don't leave behind any part of her hair. Now her hair is nice and smooth and ready for a wash, and I'll just brush her bangs a little bit as well. While I was doing that, I managed to pull out some of her hair through the thatching of her bangs, which I will just carefully brush back in. It was really easy to work with her, and she didn't lose much hair at all. This is all the hair that's been pulled out in this brushing process. And now to the bath. I'm going to place her into a mixture of dishwashing liquid and hot water, which I prepared a little bit earlier. I always like to use hot water when I'm washing dolls, but the water is only so hot that I can still put my hands in. I like to soak the dolls for a couple of hours, just to make sure that all the dirt loosens up. The hair already looks good, so I'm hoping for really great results from the boil wash. However, the bangs are still rebellious. So the next step now is cleaning her hair with shampoo. I used the cheapest shampoo I could find in the stores, which is enough for doll hair in my opinion. I then just work it in really well and make sure that I clean the hair properly. I then proceed to scrub the doll with an old toothbrush, which I find that it usually works really well to clean the doll. However, in this case the dirt didn't want to come off, so I switched to a sponge. The sponge is sometimes better at taking off dirt that is really resistant. Then I'll just wash her hair with my hand shower and continue with applying conditioner. I always take my time to work in the conditioner as best as I can to make sure that all the hair strands are covered, and I also like to be really generous with the amount of conditioner. Once all the hair is coated, I take a fine tooth comb and I comb through the hair starting from the ends up to the roots. Here I'm always very careful because when Kanekalon hair is wet, it can break very easily if it's combed or brushed. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's more difficult, but I always try to be careful to not damage the hair more than it is. I also always brush through the top and from the bottom part of the hair. I still felt the doll didn't feel as clean as I wanted to, so I decided to brush a little bit of baking soda onto her body with the toothbrush. Using baking soda gives this nice final clean feeling to the doll. Personally, I never owned any of the beach dolls as a child. To be honest, I wasn't that captivated by them back then, and it's only recently that I started appreciating their beauty. But how about you? Did you own Pearl Beach Barbie as a child? What is your favorite beach doll? When I'm done with that, I continue with washing out the conditioner from the hair. Here I always like to hold on to the bangs a little bit so that they don't go back into the long part of the hair while washing it. Here it's okay to just wash out the majority and leave a little bit in for the boil wash. For the boil wash, I just boil water using an electric kettle, and I wait a couple of minutes for the water to cool down. I found that the best temperature for hot water is under 90 degrees Celsius, because anything hotter than that can cause the cannecolon hair to seize up, which is a bit more difficult to comb out, although it's still salvageable. Once the water is ready, I just dip the hair straight in, swirl it around a little bit, and then I take the comb and I comb through the hair as I'm pulling it out of the hot water. I repeat these steps a couple of times. The reason I'm doing it this way is that combing through the hair helps it straighten out and get a nicer, shinier finish. It's just always very important to be careful when working with hot water, as it can so easily burn the hands. Looking at the footage, it might seem like it's very easy, but I'm being very careful while doing this because it's not just the water that's hot, it's also the doll's hair. Okay, I'm happy with the results, so I'll just go on with cleaning up the doll now. Finally, I make sure that I rinse out all the conditioner as well as I can by placing the doll under cold running water and combing her hair a little bit more. Combing the hair under cold running water after a boil wash helps the straightened hair to retain its shape and shine. I just love to see how shiny the hair is after a boil wash. After the cleanup, I dry the doll with a soft cloth or a towel. Next, I'm going to curl her bangs using a modified version of the straw method and a hair dryer. And unfortunately, I lost the footage for this, so I cannot show it, but I'll leave a comment describing the process in more details, and I promise to show it next time in my next video. And she's now ready. Her hair came out amazing, and I'm so happy with how her bangs look now. Her original outfit was luckily in the lot that I got her in, and it only needed minor fixes. In fact, it was only one of the pearl appendages that was a little bit loose on her bottom half of the bikini, which I just reattached with a needle and thread. I probably should have trimmed the ends of her hair just to make it look a little bit nicer, but I'm still very happy with the final result. How do you like her final look? Please feel free to share your thoughts with me, as I'm always happy to read your comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a wonderful day.